Alright guys, so today we are going to talk about the human body systems chart. So please have that in front of you because we're going to go over that together, make sure that you have it filled in correctly. We're also going to add one more system to the back of that chart because I realized the endocrine system wasn't on there and that's an important system to know. So we'll do that, make sure it's all filled out correctly, add the endocrine system, and then we'll go over some questions that are going to be embedded right in PlayPosit. So let's get started here. Okay, here's your chart. The respiratory system is first. This takes in oxygen that cells need and removes carbon dioxide from the body. Make sure you have that it takes in oxygen and removes carbon dioxide. The nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. Obviously the lungs are the biggest organ, the most important, but you need to know if any of these are mentioned when they're talking about the respiratory system. Usually they will just, focus on the nose and the lungs, though. Excretory system, this removes waste products from the body, kidneys, bladder, and urethra. You'll notice that because it's just the urethra, you're talking about just liquid waste. Because the digestive system breaks down food, absorbs nutrients, and removes food waste. So the rectum is a part of this, and this removes, obviously, the solid waste. There's also the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, liver, pancreas, and large intestine. One of the biggest things to remember about the digestive system is not only that it's breaking down food, but it's a way for us to absorb our nutrients. As the food travels through the intestines, the water and other nutrients are being absorbed from the food through that whole process. Circulatory system transports oxygen, nutrients, and waste, fights infection, helps regulate body temperature. This is obviously the heart and then all the blood vessels. It doesn't say transport blood, it says transport oxygen because the oxygen is in the blood cells. Okay, nervous system controls the body's responses to changes in and outside environments. So this is like your control center, and this is, this is how we function. So brain, spinal cord, and nerves. The immune system, this protects against our disease, tonsils, adenoids, spleen, lymph nodes, and bone marrow. The skeletal system supports the body, protects internal organs, allows movement. The other thing that you're going to see here on questions for the skeletal system is it'll say locomotion, allows for locomotion, and that means movement. You just think of locomotion like a locomotive, a train moving. It also stores minerals, produces and circulates blood. So your blood is produced in your bones. Okay, so the next part, just flip over your chart here and we'll put in the endocrine system. The endocrine system, I want you to write this down in the bottom. You don't have to draw this picture, but just maybe write down the system, the definition, and then your all of the parts of the system here. So this is all of the glands that produce hormones that regulate the metabolism, your growth, your tissue function, your sexual function, reproduction, sleep, mood. So all of these are controlled by your hormones. All of the glands that are here, including part of the brain, the hypothalamus, the thymus, thyroid, all of the glands in pancreas and adrenal glands, and then the ovary, the placenta, and the testicles. These are all a part of the endocrine system. Okay, so now next let's go over some questions. I did a question bank in eDoctrina. I'm going to just embed these right into PlayPosit, so as we go through, obviously it'll pause and you can answer these questions. So the first question is, what is the major function of the human excretory system? So if you picked 1, you are correct. Eliminates waste materials. Number 2, the interaction of the skeletal and muscular systems. Now I know we haven't talked about muscular systems yet, but here we are talking about produce locomotion. It's coordinated by which body system? Remember to read each question thoroughly the interaction of these two systems to produce locomotion, it's coordinated by which human body system. So think about which body system coordinates our activities. And if you pick nervous system, you are correct. Which human body system produces the hormones that regulate growth? There is one big key word in that. If you picked 4, the endocrine system, you are correct. Infections may be caused by, now we didn't talk about this yet, but I just wanted to see if people knew the answer to this question, so I'm going to see if you know it, and then we'll talk about it. If you chose microorganisms, you are correct. Bacteria, viruses, these things cause infections. So the mutations, this is something that's completely different. Mutations, you're talking about DNA. Toxic substances can cause you to be sick, but it's not an infection. Climate changes, that's going to, again, cause you to be sick or worn down, but it's not going to actually cause an infection. Okay, the chart below identifies the function of several organs found in the human body system. Which human body system performs these functions? Okay, and if you chose 4, the respiratory system, you are correct. Here is a part of the human body system. The possible movement represented by the arrows in the diagram is coordinated by the, and if you chose number 3, the nervous system again, then you are correct. The key word again is coordinated. Plants we haven't talked about yet, but I'm going to throw this in here just to see if you guys remember these things. So these are going to be a couple of short answers. Number 7, select a structure labeled in the human system above and explain how it contributes to the way the human system functions. So you're just going to choose one of these structures and then explain what it does. So there's a couple of ways to answer this question. If you chose the heart, then you talk about how it transports oxygen. Perfect. Okay. There's also a number of other explanations that I would take. The next question is going to ask for the plant system. The plant system, the plant structure, and explains the way the organism functions. Now, photosynthesis is something we're going to touch on, but the biggest, and that's the biggest thing, the leaves take in the sun's rays, or the roots take in the nutrients from the soil. These are the two things you could say. Obviously, the stem is transporting the water throughout. So this you could write the stem in this too. So I'm not going to put this as a question. I just wanted to go over it with you. Number 9, the diagram below shows a human body system. What are 2 of the functions performed by this body system? If you chose number 1, then you're correct. It supports the body and it protects the organs in the body. Number 10, the labeled organs in the diagram below are part of which human body system? If you chose endocrine, you're correct. These are all of our glands again. This is why I wanted to go over endocrine, because it is mentioned quite a bit on the exam. So glands equals endocrine. Okay, the diagram below shows a magnified view of an air sac in the human lung. The white arrows indicate blood flow. So these are the white arrows here. They're indicating the blood flow. Which 2 systems are interacting in this diagram? So you have blood from the heart, carbon dioxide, oxygen, air sac. Okay, if you chose number 4, then you're correct. The respiratory, breathing, and the circulatory are interacting. All right, number 12, the diagram below shows several organs in the human digestive system. Explain 2 ways that food is changed as it passes through the digestive system. Now, there's a number of ways you can answer this too. The food is broken down in the mouth. The food is broken down even more in the stomach, transported through the esophagus. Nutrients are being taken out by the intestines. So any of those would work for that. And last, the nutrients enter the bloodstream during the process of, again, we haven't talked about this yet, but I did want to see if you guys knew this one. Okay, so the answer to this is absorption, number 4. And again, you can go back up to this picture, the human digestive system. The nutrients are absorbed as it gets digested through the digestive system. So absorption, obviously, elimination is when you're getting rid of the excess. Respiration is when you're breathing. Locomotion is moving. So absorption, if you wanted to write that on your sheet, that would be great. Absorption is when nutrients enter the bloodstream. We are going to have some more questions as review. So if you feel like you need some more review on this, it's totally understandable. We have all of part 1 questions and some part 2 questions on the human body, so we will continue on.